Chevron low lead, and Chevron Supreme for high compression engines. Only Standard Oil gives you 3 cleaner air gasolines with F310.
Dad's Root Beer. Fastest straw in the West.
KNXT Channel 2. $11 report, a complete summary of the day's news in color with Jake Jacobs standing in for Clete Roberts and Stan Duke with sports. Now, Jake Jacobs.
Good evening. Ruben Salazar, the chronicler of the Los Angeles Mexican-American community, is reportedly dead. Salazar's body was found in a shut-up bar on East Los Angeles' Whittier Boulevard tonight. The veteran newsman's body was not officially identified, but news colleagues on the scene said it was definitely Salazar. Salazar was news director of 34, the city's Spanish-language television station. Salazar distinguished himself as a war correspondent in Vietnam, a special assignment reporter for the Los Angeles Times and a syndicate. The cause of death was not immediately known. As far as could be determined, Salazar was covering today's East Los Angeles riots. The sheriff's office said tonight that the riot started when officers were called to a looted liquor in the area and were stoned by bystanders. Rioting broke out in Laguna Park as some 7,000 Mexican Americans marched in protest to the war in Vietnam. Police used tear gas to disperse the crowd, elements of which burned buildings, smashed store windows, and hurled rocks at officers. A 1-mile square area of East Los Angeles was sealed off. Late this evening, 500 police and highway patrolmen were on duty there to keep order. Several stores were set afire, including this on Whittier Boulevard, main thoroughfare of East Los Angeles. Police cars were damaged by rocks and bricks. The Los Angeles Police Department placed 11 of its divisions on tactical alert. Numerous fire companies from surrounding areas fought the blaze. One man was electrocuted when his car careened into a telephone pole, cutting off power to more than 1,000 homes. The man reportedly crashed while trying to break through a police barricade. At least 2 cars were set afire on Whittier Boulevard. There were sights and sounds in East Los Angeles. Heavily armed police arrested people in stores and bars along Whittier, including these unidentified men.
Hands on your head. Your hands on your head.
I didn't do it,
Hey.
telling all officers who have made arrests.
There were other blazes and window breakings in cars, department stores, and rubbish bins along Whittier Boulevard. Mannequins were stripped or displayed clothing and set on fire. Late reports tonight said at least 25 policemen have been injured. As night fell, officers combed the area, trying to disperse roaming gangs of youth. Some of the gangs numbered 200 to 1,000 members, according to sheriff's deputies. In actions reminiscent of last year's ghetto riots across the country, East Los Angeles stores displaying so-called brown power signs were apparently spared damage. Exact overall damage has not been determined. A group known as the Chicano Moratorium Committee had organized the march to protest the disproportionate number of Mexican Americans killed in the war in Indochina. Late tonight, KNXT reporter Howard Gingold, still on the scene, reported that the man believed to be Salazar was shot once in the head.
Have a seat, Mr. Wilson. We'll have that pipe and muffler fixed in no time. Latest map? How's it going, Wade?
Well, I got the muffler, but fitting this pipe's going to be trouble.
Oh, never mind. Cliff, give us a hand with this pipe, will you?
You going to put this pipe in there?
Hey, Wade. Colin?
Now, look, that pipe's got to be longer over here. Or shorter over there.
No, wait a minute. I'm all fouled up.
No, Chief, all you got to do is just turn it around.
Gas stations install mufflers and pipes as a sideline. At Midas, we do it for a living. We have to do a better job. So we have the muffler and the pipe to fit your car.
Mr. Wilson, I'm having a little trouble. Can you?
Please.
There was some in the air, but little advance warning that there would be trouble in East Los Angeles earlier today. KNXT reporter Bob Navarro was on hand to cover the anti-Vietnam protest march as it began.
They came from as far away as Texas. They ranged the political spectrum from far-left militants to a contingent from the American Legion, but they were young and overwhelmingly Mexican-American. The weather and the rhetoric were hot, but two similar marches in East Los Angeles had gone peacefully and without incident. There was no reason to believe that today would be otherwise. The Chicano moratorium is the brainchild of a group of young Mexican-American students opposed. One of these is Rosalio Munoz, student body president. He talked about the Chicano moratorium.
Well, we began actually when I received an induction notice for the 16th of September. That's Mexican Independence Day. And a group of us got together and decided we'd use that as a massive Chicano movement on the war issue, because we were aware that Chicanos were dying at twice the rate of all other service personnel. And it was so ironic that we are carrying the heaviest burdens of this war, and we have so many problems here in the United States. And we decided to say that our front line is here in the United States. I refused induction on 16th of September and accused him of genocide through the war. Then we started organizing on the draft and the inadequacy of the draft, and joined with the peace movement in November in San Francisco with a large Chicano contingent. But we saw that the press did not cover any of the Chicano speakers that spoke, and those that did speak were rushed on and off the stage and weren't really listened to. And we analyzed this, and we saw that the peace movement was educating the Anglo middle class on how and why they should get out of the war in Vietnam, and not the Chicanos. So more and more Anglos were getting out of the war through draft deferments and many other ways. And so the draft was with more Chicanos and poor people. So we decided we needed our own Chicano moratorium.
The marchers stretched for more than 2 miles, and it took nearly 3 hours to reach Laguna Park at Whittier Boulevard in Dittman. The first indication that all would not end well, several rocket incidents against police took place about a mile from the park. Police backed off, and a serious confrontation was avoided. But the tension was building, and you could almost feel the inevitable. Bob Navarro reporting for KNXT News.
A Negro mother, backed by a federal court order, buried the son she lost in Vietnam at an all-white cemetery today in Fort Pierce, Florida. Army Specialist 4, Poindexter Williams, was killed August 8th in a mortar fire. As she buried her son, Mrs. Mary Campbell received the flag from Roland Beatty, National Commander of the Order. The cemetery had offered free burial to any GI killed in Vietnam, but rejected Williams because he was black.
Don Horn throwing on 1st and 10. 10 for Green Bay. Here is Donnie Anderson turning the corner. Here's a big rush. Linebacker Bill Budnitz comes through and checks Wyatt, who let her rip on a kickoff return a while ago, has life left. The Green Bay Packers now lead the Oakland Raiders 31-7. We'll be back with the Green Bay kickoff in just a moment.
If you're like me, you probably don't know a shock absorber from an intake manifold. All you know is under here somewhere to make riding a little better. What if you haul a lot of heavy loads? Or a lot of people? You can't expect an ordinary shock absorber like this one to keep you from bottoming, scraping, or fishtailing. You need something better. We make something better. Monroe Load Leveler Stabilizing Units. They go under here instead of shocks to make riding a little better for people who haul heavy loads, or a lot of people, or just a lot of extra. Monroe Load Levelers, front and rear. Now you know better.
There are the deep receivers for Oakland. 46 is Ed Hayes to your left. Alvin Wyatt, 41. Joe Runk, a 28-year-old rookie from Purdue. The ball, it's going to carry short.
One chic, the blade that fights corrosion, just shaved these 17 barbers. And what does number 17 have to say?
Well, I never would have believed it. It was a nice, close, comfortable shave.
Here's a small section of the Schick Super Chromium edge that delivered 17 shaves. Let's compare it to a new edge. See that? It's almost like new. Could the blade in your razor deliver 17 comfortable shaves? Schick Chronochrome, the super chromium blade that fights corrosion. You've got to feel it to believe it.
In the warfare between the razor and the face, every man has earned his decorations. Now the struggle is ended with new protective shave. Edge's unique lubricating threads protection, then quickly lathers. The gel's lubrication guards against nicks. You shave smoothly, closely, fearlessly. New Edge protective shave. Give your face the edge.
We're happy to inform you that Joe Runk, with a little assistance, walked off the field, but he'll not play again today.
Tight ropes a little bit in Green Bay.
Imagine for a moment that you're in the gay 90s.
Bartender, 3 more blue ribbons.
At the best spot in town. You're here to enjoy the great premium beer of the day, Pabst Blue Ribbon.
3 more blue ribbons.
You can still enjoy this good old-time flavor today in original Pabst Blue Ribbon beer, brewed by the first of the great Milwaukee brewers.
Lovely party.
It is nice.
I see you're smoking a Salem.
Country for springtime in every puff.
That music sounds familiar.
Well, that's the Salem song.
You like that song?
Like it? I love it.
You can take Salem out of the country, but
Now you'll see Walker coming in from the left. Beautifully timed by Walker.
Right now,
in another time and day, people ground grain this slow, natural way. And there was a beer that grew up in that wonderful era of care and pride, Pabst Blue Ribbon, honored as America's best in 1893. Yes, Pabst has a tradition no other beer can match. We still brew Pabst that slow, natural way to give you something no other beer has. Good old-time flavor. Original Pabst Blue Ribbon beer.
The score, the Minnesota Vikings 21, the New York Jets nothing.
Moon craters? No, it's paint failure. And paint failure is what happened all over the country, where DuPont tested Lucite against other leading house paints on more than 200 homes. On house after house, where the other paints broke down, Lucite kept going strong. Lucite outlasted every paint tested. And the longer a paint lasts, the less often you have to repaint. Lucite, the work skipper.
Say, Colonel, how'd you think up that finger-licking good line?
Well, look at there. It's just sort of the natural thing to do when you have something you like. And I just told folks what I saw. Say, how's that pretty little bride of yours doing, Artie?
Oh, just fine, Colonel. Say, you know that disagreement we had about her cooking?
Yes, yes.
Well, I just told her, when you can get chicken like this, why cook at all? Ever.
Team.
You buy Prestone antifreeze, huh?
Sure, it's got a protection plan that's ironclad, ironclad, ironclad.
What?
A protection plan that's ironclad, ironclad, ironclad. Look, Prestone protects against freeze-ups, protects against corrosion, protects against most minor leaks, or right union carbide for your money back. See? Yeah. Never pick up a stranger. Pick up Prestone, its protection plan.
It's ironclad, right?
Right.
Da-da-da-da-dum-dum. What the?
Hello.
Hello yourself.
How come you smoke super king-size Salem?
I like them.
Why do you like them?
They're refreshing. Springtime in every puff.
What else?
They're longer, so springtime lasts a little longer. Try one. Say, what's a nice girl like you doing up in a tree anyway?
I get a lot of super king-size Salems this way.
League action will continue from Bloomington, Minnesota with a score. The New York Jets nothing and the Minnesota Vikings nothing.
Grease could make your hair look natural if your hair were made of grease. Alcohol by itself could make it look natural if hair were made of alcohol. But hair is made of protein. So for the most natural-looking hair, you want a hair groom made with protein. 29 has a special protein formula no other hair groom has. Now, what could make hair more natural-looking than putting protein on protein? Men in Protein 29 any way you like it. Gel, liquid, cream, or aerosol.
Look, who's kidding who? I mean, I'm a married man. I got 3 kids. Now, do I need my aftershave to smell like the Brooklyn Botanic Gardens? And I do use an aftershave for one reason. It feels great. Kind of wakes my face up. Of course, I use the bracer, Menin Skin Bracer. It's clean and cool, and it doesn't cost an arm and a leg, so I can use bracer every day.
Menin Skin Bracer. There's nothing phony about it.
Would you love to wash your hair in the summer soft rain? Wouldn't you love a shampoo that's always as fresh and gentle as VO5 is? In any water, anywhere?